That's good. Dozy, bro, I hate to cut you off, but some people said they have a couple questions, and I was like, dang, we actually didn't like allow people to ask questions. So someone's on right now. She's gonna ask a couple questions, and we're probably gonna go ahead and wrap up.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing?
Doing good. How you
Yo,
doing? How
what's
you
good?
doing?
All is
What?
well. This question's pretty layered. This first one. Okay, will you all date a woman with kids? Does it matter if that woman have one child or multiple kids? If she has multiple kids, would you prefer it be by one man or if she have a couple baby daddies? Would that be a turn off?
Wow, this is layered.
And also, the last question would be if that woman has a baby, let's say her child's like 1 years old, or her youngest is 1 years old, is that a turn off? Like, it may think that she may still be in a relationship with that man.
Wait, ask the
Wait,
last one again. No,
what?
basically, if a woman just had a baby and the child is still young, do you think that the woman would be detached enough from her past relationship?
That's a great question.
That
Yeah,
is
that
that
is
is
an
a
awesome
good
Great
question.
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 That is
Great question.
amazing. We should put
Thank
this on
y'all.
our on the highlight. I'll go with the first one. So the first one, there was a point in time where I wouldn't even look at a single mother. You feel me? And then I got older,
Hmm.
and then I'm just kind of I wouldn't mind, raise a little nigga. You feel me?
What?
Oh, my bad, not a little. You know what I'm saying? But raise a little young man. I would
Freaking
not,
Dr.
I would not mind. Now the limit as I getting older, the limit would have to be one young man. Maybe if I was 40, I would be open to, more than one, maybe two kids, a little family. Yeah.
Listen,
But
Black History Month
does
should
it
have told
matter
everybody.
if it is by multiple men? If I'm 40, no, it does not matter. You know, as long as there's a good relationship there, right? He's not trying to check me or, like it's respectful. If the father is one of those that feel like he got to step up, you feel me? We can step up. But to answer the last question, I think the questions were so layered, so I'm probably missing something. What was the last question again?
The last question was if the woman has a child who is
Oh,
fairly young,
but
like
yeah,
almost less than a month old, less than a year old. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Do you feel that she would be detached enough from the baby's father to get into a relationship?
Well, I'm a Gemini. I'm just playing.
Yo,
Go
my
ahead, bro. I'm
God,
about to say,
yo,
bro.
I just like to
Hey,
do it. I don't do
hey,
that. Yo,
listen,
listen,
I
I
was about to
love
say,
doing it.
you done said, you done got up here on Black History Month on this interwebs, then called the little man
Sound like T.I.
a Negro, and then you done
No,
get up
I'm
here talk
just
about this
nah.
man, astrology,
horoscope,
yo, real
right?
I
talk.
just love saying
Kick
that
you
around
off.
Christians. I love saying that around Christians, get the reaction. But I'm very needy. I'm a needy guy. So I need that attention. So if I felt like the attention, like let's say 90% of the attention was going towards the kid, I'm the kind of person like, hey, I don't want to come between you and your little baby. You know what I'm saying? Take care. So for me to be selfless, you see how I worded that? Take care of the little baby. You know what I'm saying? Let the little man get the attention that he needs because you don't want him to grow up and he has mother issues. You like, mom issues. So, go ahead and take care of the baby. There are other single moms out here that I can, what I'm saying, cuddle up to,
Yes.
so saying that, in all seriousness, if I could not get the attention that I want, I would not invest in that relationship because it's already hard enough being a stepfather and you really not being catered to emotionally and physically and mental, all the other leads. So I would remove myself from that.
So
Freaky is hilarious.
so I think to Freke's point, I think it depends on where a person is in their life from an age perspective of whether or not they would be um up to weathering the task of dating a woman that has a child. I think every man wants well, everybody wants their first child. Well, I'll say every man in this perspective wants their first child to be theirs. Um, but it doesn't mean it's a deal breaker if it's not. You know what I'm saying? The second question What was the second question?
She asks a lot.
Yeah,
What was,
it
what was the
was-
second
it-
question?
it basically kept being layered. It was like, okay, like
So
child-
I do
Nah, but
think
what
I
was the
do
second
I do
question?
think that a man would prefer that if she does have
Oh, baby daddies, baby daddies.
right. So I'm giving the standpoint that I'm giving. 'Cause So I think that most men would prefer it to be one baby father
Facts.
because you're dealing with another person, and if it's multiple baby fathers with multiple kids, that's a whole lot of people that you're trying to manage and co-parent and
a
things
lot
of
of
that
different
nature.
emotions.
A lot of different emotions, and it's a lot of different men who have access to you and can pull on your emotional strings in any given time.
Come on.
Okay.
That's weird.
Lastly, to couple with that, the last question of if the baby, like let's say a woman has a baby's 6 months old. It's a no. Because and dude could have cheated on you, right?
Talk about it. I know you going. I agree with
But
you.
that's still
Go ahead.
That is your baby's father.
Talk about
And
it. Nah, talk about it.
And any woman, correct me if I'm wrong. Once a man becomes the father of your child, you go into a different realm
Come
of
on.
emotions with
Come
that
on.
man.
Go ahead.
So for you to be only have had a child, the child to be 6 months old, and you guys just broke up, shoot, it might not even be safe to date somebody that don't got a kid and it's only been 6 months, you know what I'm
Facts.
saying, of separation, let alone you guys have had a child together. Like you have prior to that breakup, if the child was before marriage, you probably have now started to think about marriage. If you weren't already thinking it, you start to build a life as a collective with this man. So for this man to only be out of the picture for since 6 or even a year, and you guys have a child together, I don't think that would be a safe situation. I think you would be asking for trouble because again, he has access to emotional strings that the new man is trying to get access to, and it's a recipe for disaster. So
Facts. Shoot, I agree with all of y'all, especially Rodas with that last thing you said about that about the woman and the connection. First off, it definitely depends on the man's age. As far as it depends on the man's age, and you know what? Also, a man's not guilty if he doesn't want a woman with a kid. That's his preference. So when I say it's age, it's not even a young thing. It's a hey, what a man prefers thing, you know? Because there's no man, we don't get older and just be like, oh, it's the right time to be with the woman who doesn't have a kid. We have our option, we have our choice. So that's every man's different decision. He's absolutely, there's nothing wrong if he doesn't want a woman with a child. Now, as far as the amount of baby daddy she has, is that a red flag? Absolutely. Because one thing also, we as men want to know, if you was just out here smashing dudes raw and just making babies, that's a lot. We paying attention to that. You know what I mean? Like we know, and then also it's also a red flag because yo, you can have our child. Like put us on papers. So it's basically it's about your mindset. Are you still that woman? Are you still out here? Or if you have a legit story like, yo, I was with this man for this long, I thought we was going to be married, There's different scenarios to that. Now, for the last thing I'd say is I completely agree with what Rhoda said. If a baby's a year old, majority of women, no matter how trash the man was, wants to build a family. Still wants to be a family. So if she could be with that man, she would, most women. So most of us men don't play with a situation where the baby's that young. That's it.
So I'm gonna say my piece, then we're gonna go ahead and wrap up.
That was a good question, by the way.
Yeah, that is a
It
great
was.
question. That's a really great question. Yeah, she's still here. So I would say that the more baggage, and I hate to call, I don't want to call children baggage, but it's y'all know what the term is. Thank you.
Responsibility.
Thank you. The more responsibility the woman comes with, it has to be offset by other qualities and things that are just out of this world. and not generic things like, oh, well, I'm very wise, I'm very sweet. It's like, no, women without children have all of those things.
Right.
And so I don't want to try to pinpoint what any of those particular qualities are because those qualities are different depending on the particular man. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. So you can go ahead and ask the next question. I'll answer. Then one of the other guys will answer. Then we'll wrap up. And my apologies, y'all. We were supposed to get to people's questions. So that's completely on me. So, but please go ahead and ask